bit of discussion after recess, you guys talking about being afraid out on recess. What is that all about?
Well, I think that I get scared. It's hard. I'm kind of shy, and it's really hard for me to play with some of the other kids because they seem like they're name calling, or they won't let you play if you're not good enough. And so I'm really kind of afraid to join in.
Okay, and how can you know when you start feeling afraid? What are some feelings that you have when you start feeling afraid?
My stomach drops inside, like when I come up to the monkey bars, I'm afraid of heights. So I feel like my stomach is not there anymore.
Well, that's not a good feeling then, huh? So we want to try to talk about ways that we can know how we're feeling when we're feeling afraid, and then we can face our fears so that we can get over this terrible feeling that we get physically. So let's talk about what fear means. Fear is a distressing emotion that can come from feelings of danger or evil or even pain. And whether fear is realistic or unrealistic, it can have really negative effects on our emotions. So we really want to try to be able to recognize when we're afraid of something so we can be able to fix it. So what are some other things that you're afraid of?
When we're in class and we have to do something as a group, I feel like sometimes I can't do the work well enough, or I don't have the right answer, and so I'm afraid that someone will laugh at me or, say that I'm stupid.
Well, we're going to talk about some choices you have when you're feeling these feelings that you have. You know you're afraid. We're going to talk about some choices that you have so when you feel the fear coming on, you can know how to confront it to get rid of that fear. So first what we can do is we can talk to somebody. So when you start feeling afraid, you need to find somebody that you can really talk with and say, I'm feeling afraid and this is why, and see if it's what they call an unrealistic fear or realistic fear. And so if it is something that might danger you or hurt you, that someone else can take over and help you with it. So one way is to choose somebody. Usually, like in our classroom, if you guys are afraid out at the recess, you can always come to me and talk to me, and if it's something that's going to danger you or harm you, then I can take care of that for you guys. Another way you can confront it, if you don't think there's anyone that can help you with it, you can learn to relax your body, which can help with fear. And a way to do that is to take a big deep breath in and to take a big exhale, to take a deep breath out. So that is a way to relax your body so you're not focusing on that fear so much. Another way we can face our fear is by trying to get over what we're afraid of and maybe confronting what we're afraid of. So out at the recess, when you're afraid to go on the monkey bars, maybe the next time you can get somebody to go and help you at the monkey bars, and we can try to cross the monkey bars together, and then feeling that accomplishment of crossing the monkey bars might make you feel a lot better. So I'm going to give you guys some worksheets that we can go over to help you guys practice this skill. So the first thing, remember, we decide what we're afraid of. So I'm going to give you the situation of you come into class and your teacher tells you that there's been a huge release of rats all down the hallway. Now that scares me. So I'm going to decide, I have this terrible pit in my stomach. My hands start sweating really bad. So I know that I start feeling afraid. After I've decided I'm afraid, then I have to think, okay, can I talk to somebody like this? Can I do a relaxation exercise? Or do I try to confront my fear? Is that going to help me? And what I would do is, first I would try to talk to somebody to see where these mice are going, or if there's anyone that could stop them from coming near me. And then the next thing, is I could try to maybe confront my fear, and I could go and maybe have somebody who's not afraid of mice come walk with me, and we could just see how they're not that harmful after all. And you're going to work together, and you're going to discuss something you're afraid of, and decide who you would want to try this with. So who would you guys like to try this with?
My mother.
Your mother? That's a great person. It's a very safe person. You can tell her exactly what you're afraid of. That's good. And when would you like to do this? Would you like to do it while you're feeling these feelings of fear, or after, or before?
I'd like to practice it first and then see if I remember to use it.
Good. That's great. That's great. And then we want to talk about what happened once you ran through those steps, and maybe even if you chose to talk to somebody about it instead of doing a relaxation method, then maybe we could go back and try the relaxation and see if that helped better the next time. So you want to talk about what happened and if you felt better and less afraid than you were. And then you want to talk about how you did, if you were really satisfied with how you did, or if you were still feeling afraid, then maybe we need to go back and try a different method of feeling, a way to feel a little bit less afraid of what we're talking about. And then talk about why you circled this. If you felt like you're no longer afraid of anything and you circle a smiley face, you can say, I tried this exercise and I am no longer afraid of that. Or I circled the sad face because I still am afraid and I want to try to go back and do it again. So we want to try to take this home, and whenever we're feeling we're afraid, just go through these steps and decide what we're feeling afraid of and how we're going to confront that.
I like that we can practice this. So, because I feel like I don't really know how to face it. So,
right.
I like that.
Right, and and it's a lot of the time knowing when you're afraid, and sometimes you might not even notice you're afraid, but just realizing what those signs that you have physically, if your stomach hurts, or if you start feeling really sweaty, or if you get really bad anxiety, then you might know that you're starting to feel afraid. So to really pay attention to those signs.